I used to think that volunteering was one of the most selfless things I did. Then I realized that I volunteer mostly not to help others, but to feel better about myself. I didn't harm anyone, but I wanted to gain something for myself. I thought that made it wrong. Now, I think it might be more complicated than that. And I think we should all admit it when there is selfishness in our heart, because only then can we direct it. Otherwise, it may end up directing us instead. When I started volunteering with Caritas Madrid, my first project was in a small parish in the city. I was teaching children from low-income families some English, some math, and sometimes just keeping them company for a few hours. To be honest, it wasn't always a beautiful, cinematic experience. I tried my best to bring a fun, playful energy for the kids. Doing that every time gets tough. But there were also moments that stayed with me. I'd been helping a girl who came in the afternoons, bringing her math homework. She told me that she was struggling, and I could tell that this was hurting her confidence. Even when she knew the answer, she'd become afraid to say it out loud. So I tried my best to slowly guide her, taking her through the math, and luckily, she soon became more comfortable with it. One afternoon, like every Tuesday, her mother came to pick her up. She was a short woman with black hair and a big smile. She approached me, touched my arm lightly, and told me, "Thank you." It caught me off guard. As she said it, there was so much warmth in her eyes. And for a moment, I felt the kind of happiness that only comes from having genuinely helped someone else. And yet, underneath that, I felt like I didn't deserve her gratitude. So I went back home. That night, couldn't think about anything else. Why did I feel guilty after doing something good? Eventually, I saw why. I wasn't doing it for the mother, not even for the girl. It was for myself. It's not easy to share this, but I started volunteering because I wanted to feel like I mattered. I'd been looking for a sense of purpose. And also, God, this hurt to admit, I wanted to be seen as an admirable person. I felt ashamed of myself. After all, don't we all know that good people are selfless? I kept thinking of all the selfless people I knew in my life, wondering what made them different. Someone always came to mind. He was like a mentor to me. He'd built a remarkable career for himself, but what always struck me was how generous he was towards others. He'd given me advice during really tough moments and even showed up to help me prepare for an interview on a Sunday while he had to be at a family gathering. He was such a selfless person. And part of me thought that if I understood what made him that way, then maybe I'd be able to become more like him. So one day, when we were at lunch, I asked him a question. I asked him what drove him to help others. I remember he went silent for a few moments and seemed to hesitate. He then looked me in the eye and said, very simply, that he did it because it felt good. He did it because it felt good. I mean, picture it. The most selfless person I knew was basically telling me that he was selfish. First, I thought I couldn't be it. I had to be missing something. But then, I saw the thing I'd been ashamed of in myself reflected in him. Despite being motivated by helping himself, it helped me so much. And I realized I've been doing the same for others all along. Let me be clear. Some selfishness is terrible. It can make us manipulative and corrupt. That part should be resisted. But is selfishness bad when it helps us help others? To show you what I mean, I'd like to take you through some of the questions I asked myself that night after volunteering. Welcome to my favorite sport, professional overthinking. Now, let's do this together, okay? Think of the last time you helped someone. Why did you do it? Maybe an answer like love, friendship, or duty comes to your mind. Good. Now let's push deeper. Would you do it again if no one ever found out? Did you do it because it was right or because it felt right? What did you get out of it? Dig deep enough, and you might discover that your original answer is a fraction of what made you help that person. But let me tell you something. It's not bad news if there were selfish reasons in what you did. Your action still mattered to someone. And if selfishness drove you to help someone, then use that as motivation to help someone else. Because if we see our own selfishness, we can give it an outlet. That outlet are acts of service that genuinely help others. If we don't admit it, it's likely we'll give into it anyways, sooner or later. But we won't choose how. So don't feel ashamed if you notice selfishness in yourself. I did. And that shame helped no one. No one. For years I thought that if I sacrificed myself enough, I'd magically become completely selfless. I give up. Not even all the volunteering in the world will do that. But after all, if I'd waited till I became completely selfless, I wouldn't have helped that girl at all. Selfishness is not good. But maybe being good is not about having a completely selfless heart. Maybe it's about being honest enough to use our imperfect one well. Thank you.